Good evening. Hi, everybody. This is Pamela Blunt, and the show is One Love. Now let's talk about it. I am elated to be back with you a second season. I thoroughly enjoyed last year. I really look forward to what we're going to share this year. I have a guest back with me this year, Aynoit Ashor. She is the author of 67, also Family Secrets, and a survivor of domestic violence. And we have what I believe is a great informative show. Hi, Aynoit.
Hi, Pam. Thanks for having me back today.
You're very welcome.
Can I introduce your audience to my daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
This is my daughter, Taylor.
Hi.
Hi, Taylor.
And she's going to be helping us out today with the show.
That's wonderful. It's always great to have the youth involved in the things that we're talking about. Today, we're going to really touch on some very deep topics. More so, it's, would you like to introduce the topic?
Sure. Today we're going to talk about teen dating abuse.
Teen dating abuse.
Yeah.
We spoke last year about domestic violence. And we really touched on some deep things. We were looking for red flags, etc. But we need to really start talking to the youth. Mm-hmm. They're out here, they're dating, they're getting involved in a lot of different things. But we don't realize that abuse doesn't start once you get older.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
the key.
Yeah.
Abuse can start very early in life, especially if you were abused in your home.
That's correct. That's correct.
You've gotten used. We talked about the term being used to abuse. Remember?
That's right. Yeah, we did talk about that
and
last
so,
season.
Yeah, so we kind of come out of some abusive situations where we had no control. Maybe it was a parent or a family friend or something to that degree, or relatives, teachers even abused. They don't realize it because maybe they've been abused. You can gravitate toward abuse in many ways without realizing it. Am I correct?
You're correct. You are absolutely
You don't even realize that you find yourself comfortable in situations where the people are yelling and you'll say, well, I'm used to it.
That's right.
You know, and it's not something that you should be used to. I mean, you can adapt and overcome, but you should address the topic. You know, if someone's tone is out of hand, I think so. I've learned to do that, being a survivor myself.
That's right.
You know, so I can readily recognize a lot of times where I'm being abused.
Right.
You know.
And today I want to use the time not only to talk to the teenagers, but also to let the parents know what it is that you may be seeing in your child's relationship, and you may not even realize that they're in an abusive relationship. So I want to talk to the parents too, so that they know and they can help their children be in healthy relationships.
Well, that's wonderful. So,
well, the first thing that I want to talk about is the cycle of violence.
The cycle of violence.
Yeah, so there's actually a cycle to violence. There could be, there's the honeymoon period, then there is the tension building phase, and then there's the explosion. So the honeymoon period is when everything is nice, everything is going good. The tension building period is when you're not quite sure what you're going to do that's going to set the person off. So you're kind of walking around on eggshells. A term that I started to use was walking on eggs, because eggs are more delicate than eggshells. And then you go into that explosion period when there's verbal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse. So that's that explosion. And then you get your flowers or you get your nice phone call, and then it goes back into the honeymoon period. And a lot of times people don't realize it, but if you're in an abusive relationship, it doesn't always start out in the explosion. It usually starts out in the honeymoon period. And that's why people stay. No one's going to just be with someone who just treats them badly right from the beginning. So that's just the cycle, and I wanted to go over that with everybody so that everybody knew what it was. If you're a teenager or if you're an adult in an abusive relationship, and also men can be abused, women can be abusers. So I do want you all to know that as well.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, Taylor,
Yes.
do you know any youth in your age bracket or in your circle of friends or anything who's gone through something like this?
I don't think so.
No,
I hope not.
you hope not. Do you think you would recognize if they were? Have you ever thought about, paying attention to certain signs that might be going on in some of your friends' lives? Or maybe it's just a student in school.
No.
Well, since she's not quite sure as to what the signs would be, let me tell her and tell you all what the signs would be. Some of the signs would be if, as a bystander, you would be the person who's not in the relationship. So as a bystander, you may notice that your friend doesn't hang out with you as much as they used to. They might not talk to you on the phone. They might not stay after school for games. They may just, tend to be more with their boyfriend or their girlfriend. Some of the other signs are that you see them with bruises or scratches and you're wondering, wow, how did you get this? And they may say something to you like, oh, I burned myself with the curling iron. And that's just not logical. So you just know, like, no, that kind of looks like something else. It doesn't look like a burn from a curling iron.
May I interrupt?
Sure.
So in the first red flag that you had,
Yes.
is there terminology for that? If someone all of a sudden they used to hang out, go to pep rallies or whatever, and now all of a sudden they don't want to go anymore, is it something we should be looking for? Joyous, like, I don't want to go, I want to do this, or no, I don't think I should go.
Right, the second part that you said. So if they're like, well, I don't think I should go. Maybe, my girlfriend wouldn't be happy if I go, or my boyfriend, he wants me to go and hang out with him at his house. It's okay if that's what they want to do, but just kind of watch the signs and see if that's something that they're doing a lot. Like they're just like isolating themselves.
So the key words is more, what I'm hearing is, not so much I don't want to go, but more so he or she doesn't want me to go.
Right, so kind of like a permission. So, like you might have to get your parents' permission to go to the football game or the track meet in the first place. So if it's kind of like you're seeing that they need to get the permission or the approval of their boyfriend or girlfriend.
So in essence, in a dating relationship, you shouldn't be treated like you're a child.
That's right. Because you have the right to your opinion, and the person that you're dating has the right to their opinion, and you don't have to be together all the time. You have a right to have separate lives.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Did everybody get that? I thought
I
that
hope they
was
did.
wonderful. Because sometimes the scars, you spoke about scars.
Yes.
They're not always external.
Right.
You have the internal scars. How can we spot internal scars?
Well, let's say your friend was a cheerful, bubbly person, and now they just don't want to, they are feeling bad about themselves. You might see that they're starting to dress a little bit differently. They may be fearful. You might see fear in them when their boyfriend or their girlfriend comes around. They may freeze up. They might not want to talk to you. They might talk to you in a different way. So those are some of the signs that you would see as well.
Okay, so when you say dress differently, in what way?
Well, maybe they now will button the top of their shirt, or they'll put a safety pin up here. Maybe they won't wear skirts anymore, or if they wear a skirt, maybe they'll put on stockings underneath, and that's just something that they've never done before because their boyfriend may say, oh, put stockings on. Or for a boy, the girlfriend may say, I don't want you to wear a tank top like that anymore. I want you to put a shirt on over top of it because I don't want everybody to see your muscles. So he may say, oh, well, that's because she loves me and she doesn't want anybody else to look at me like that. But it could actually be a control. So that's her way of starting to control you.
Interesting. So what about cell phones, text messaging?
Oh my gosh, oh my goodness, that just brought up a whole new type of abuse with this whole technology age.
Should one, let's ask Taylor. Taylor, do you think it's okay for someone's mate that they're dating to demand the password or code to get in the cell phone or passwords to Facebook accounts, etc.?
No, I think if it's that person's like private phone or account or anything, that they should have the right to have their own password to themselves.
I think that's a good idea.
I think that is an excellent idea. When you are, when you have your account, no one has the right to look at your account except for your parents if you're under 17. So don't think, oh, my parents can't look at my account. They actually have the right to look at your account. But
when we're dealing with a mate, or someone you're dating, or be in a relationship with.
Right.
But don't they have this little way that they'll say, but if you love me, you wouldn't have something separate from me. You know that little way that they do. They kind of put a spin on it to the degree where you should be an open book to me. I thought you trust me, etc. But is it not a reverse of insecurity? What they're asking for from you, they're saying you should trust me. But in essence, are they not trusting you by demanding or trying to manipulate you into a false sense of security, into giving them passwords, etc.?
Well, I would have to say that they're not trusting you.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, if you think about it, it's like, why do you have to see that? You know, why do you have to see what is going on with my with my account? You know, why do you have to see what's going on with my account? You know what I mean? So it's just a whole new level of everything when it comes to technology now.
Yeah, because people have a way of turning things around to make it seem as though it's you and not them.
Right.
It's the way they say things. They can turn a whole conversation around and you think that you're the one that has the problem, and when it's really them.
Right.
And how you can tell when that is happening is they start to kind of get a little belligerent. They do, because in other words, they become annoyed at the fact that you are refusing to give them a part of what's private to you. Full access to your little code you open your cell phone with, or, you know, like I said, your passwords to your social network accounts, etc. You know, so they become annoyed. Anybody who's secure in who they are and who you are and what you are to each other, they don't demand these things. They don't, it's not a requirement that they have it. Trust says, I don't have to have it.
That's right. That's right.
Trust doesn't say, well, I should be able to get it. That's not trust. It doesn't work that way.
You're right.
So I feel like don't get confused by that.
Right. And a lot of times when you're a little bit younger, you may not even realize that that's what's going on. You know, because you're just not mature enough to understand that that's not healthy, or you saw it all your life. so you think that it's okay.
Right. Miss Taylor, do you think it's okay for your boyfriend to hit his ex-girlfriend?
No. Because if he hit his ex-girlfriend, then that doesn't change the fact that he might hit you.
That's true.
I think that that's
You want
true.
to comment on that?
Yeah, usually if a person is abusive to one person, then they're more likely to be abusive to you, especially if they didn't get any help. Now, if the person got help, then it's possible that they won't do it. Everybody's different and every situation is different, so I don't want to say that just because somebody hit somebody else or was abusive to someone else that they're going to be abusive to you. But the one thing about abuse is it's all about control. So the person, if they feel like they're losing control in any way, that's when they're going to be abusive.
Okay, so we're talking about relationships.
Yes.
I have a question. Since the show is One Love now, let's talk about it. Let's
That's
talk
right.
about love.
Okay.
How do they know? When you're young, how can you differentiate infatuation from love?
That I still don't have the question to. I don't. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't have the answer to that question. Because you really don't know. There's adults that think that they're in love and they're not. But one thing that I do recommend is if you are seeing someone that you see them and you hang out with them in a group, with a group of people and not alone for 3 months to see if you really like that person or not. Just hang out with them. You can talk to them on the phone, but do it for 3 months and see if you really like that person or not. And after that 3 months, you should know something. The honeymoon period will be over within 3 months.
What I've learned over the years, I've learned that love is patient.
Yes.
Love is kind. Love does not behave itself rudely. It doesn't seek its own. It's not puffed up. Doesn't display itself unseemly. It doesn't boast about itself. Love actually encourages a person. Love is different. Love, what I'm learning, and really as old as I am in most recent years, from my Father who art in heaven, thank you, Lord Jesus, glory.
Right. Yeah.
I've really learned that love is not what we thought it was before we came to know the Savior. Love is a selfless act, but love doesn't take you out of your mind. Love is not really emotional. Love thinks. Love stays conscious. You are when you really are in love with someone, you're very conscious of what you're doing. A lot of us think that we fall in love. I often tell people, I say, if you fell in love, more than likely you bumped your heart and your head and you dragged around by your emotions. You can't think clear no more. You just everything is emotional. All you think about is this person. Oh, I love her. Oh, I can't live without her. And oh, I love him so much. Oh, he this and he that, and she's this and she's that. And you're so into the person till you can't get your schoolwork really done. You can't get your job work done. You can't do what you used to do because you're so distracted by your emotions about where this person is, what they're doing, what they said last week, last night. You are being dragged around by your emotions to really be in love, which the Word of God says we walk in love. I don't really know too much about falling in love in the Word, but semantics, terminology. So to be in love, as I learned it, I'm very conscious, just as much as I'm conscious of my relationship with God.
Yeah.
It's not, we sit and we can reason together.
Yeah.
Bottom line, he loves me, he's willing to help me.
Yeah.
I've grown to love him back. and learn to understand how to walk this walk together. Most time we say we walk with God. Enoch walked with God. You know, when you walk with God. So how much more is the example? That's an example how Christ walked in love. It says walk in love.
That's right.
With one another. I can walk in love. I'm going on with this in love thing. I must reiterate it because a lot of people are really trying to fall in love. They don't know any better. They want that euphoric feeling of infatuation. Rather than looking for a conscience for how can I be there for you? How can I help? What do you need from me that I can offer you, as well as what do you have to offer me? It's not how much you can bring to the table. Don't get arrogant about it, because love is not arrogant.
Yeah, you keep quoting that scripture. 1 Corinthians.
That's right.
You keep quoting it.
That's right. Because that's our example of love.
Yeah.
Is anybody who wants to know how to truly be in love, don't keep trying to go on what you felt. You know, the feelings come and feelings go. My brother, I love him dearly, once told me, love is whimsical and temperamental. It comes when it wants to and leaves without warning.
Yeah.
It can take you up and bring you down. That kind of love.
Yeah.
But most people, that's all they know.
Yeah.
So they keep looking and searching for it. When God has presented it right there, it was a conscious decision for Christ to go to the cross. And what did he say he did it out of?
Love.
And why did the Father let him go through that?
Love.
Mutual decision.
Yeah.
No matter what he knew what it was going to be like. He knew what it felt like. So when we talk about being in love, it's not about being so super spiritual, but it's being factual. What is the truth? The word tells us the truth that we know will set us free.
Yeah.
Love is not controlling. Love allows you to make a choice.
Right. Yep. And I keep hearing you know, and it really is 1 Corinthians scripture.
Yes.
And if anybody really wants to know what love is, read it. Read 1 Corinthians. Just read the whole book, and you will see it tells you right there what love is. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is never boastful. Love is not jealous. It'll tell you exactly what love is. And if you're seeing any of that, it's not love. It is not love.
Anything other than that. I can't recall, but I know someone in the Lord said, if you want to know whether or not you're walking in love or someone is walking in love with you, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And everywhere you see the word love, put your name there or put their name there. Pamela is patient. Well, is she patient with me? No. She's not loving me.
Right.
If she's not patient with me, she's not loving me. Pamela is kind. No, she's not really kind. Wait a minute, she's not loving me. So I got to identify love by the truth, and the truth is in the word.
Right.
So everywhere you see that word love, and stick yourself in there. Pamela is not rude. She doesn't behave herself rudely. Well, she got that part right. I mean, because you can't rule everything out.
Right.
You know, if they're trying,
Right.
you can at least see, measure them up. If they got 10 out of the 12, you know, all right, they trying. Give them a chance. But you know, but if they got 2 out of the 12 or whatever, because I didn't count them.
Yeah.
And you know, you might want to back up a little bit and kind of distance yourself. Love them from afar, because they could be really in a particular place in their life. You don't want to hate them. You know, you still want to walk in love, but you might not want to carry on too close.
Right.
It depends on what they're doing, and you can watch for abuse.
One thing that I just thought about was that a lot of times people think that they can change somebody. So you might get into a relationship with a girl or with a boy, and you might say, well, you know, they're like that. Maybe I can change them. Maybe I can help them to not be like that anymore. And you can't change anyone. People have to change when they're ready to change. There is nothing that you can do to change someone.
That is so right.
You know, I just thought of something when we were talking about the whole technology and how that has changed the whole game when it comes to abuse. One thing that I want to let you young ladies and young men know is about sexual abuse. Please do not send compromising pictures of yourself. And what I mean by compromising are naked pictures, pictures in sexual positions, pictures in undergarments. Please don't do that. You never know who that person is showing it to, and you'll never know who's going to see it. You just don't know who's going to pick it up and how that person is going to use it against you. Taylor, who's that young lady that you were telling me about not too long ago that her stuff was put on the internet, on Facebook or something?
Oh, Amber Cole.
Can you tell everybody a little bit about that if people don't know about it?
She was a 14-year-old, so I'm guessing she was a freshman in high school, and she was recorded doing a sexual act on school grounds, and they put it on YouTube.
So, did she know about it?
No, she was recorded unknowingly.
So you just don't know what's going on. So that's something that you want to be extremely careful about.
That's true, because number one, the social network is not private. It says it's private, but it's not private.
Yeah.
Do you know that even now, future employers, creditors, everybody, police departments use Facebook to track you down?
I think, didn't you just learn about that at something that you went to over the weekend?
Yeah, the Youth Leadership Summit.
And what were they talking about there when it came to what Pamela was just saying?
They're saying that some of the stuff that you say can be used against you if you apply for a job.
It can.
Right, so...
And I mean, especially when you're young. You do not want to cut yourself short while you're young. You're just trying to get through.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And you think
I think about this, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This article that was in the paper about the preacher and this young girl, 15-year-old girl.
Tell me about it. I didn't hear about that.
Well, yeah. He was all along. They've been sexting, evidently. You know, and there's no evidence to show that she ever said her age or he ever said his age. You know, but he's sending his anatomy or whatever through the phone. She's looking at it at 15 years old. Knowing what she's looking at, he asked to meet.
Oh, gosh.
I don't think well, I'm not going to go there. But she wants to meet. He wants to meet with her in Petersburg somewhere.
Oh, so this was local?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And so she, knowing what he's sending her, decides, yes, I want to meet with him. So she goes to Petersburg, gets disappointed because he's a grown man and not a young boy, and now he's in trouble. He's in trouble when she was going to meet what she saw in her phone.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about it like that.
You know, why is he in all the trouble by himself? At what point is she accountable? Well, that's where I come in at. Yes, we have to protect our youth. And thank God her mother saw the things. But who is she supposed to really be getting on? Yeah. What is going to be this girl's punishment?
Yeah, that's...
Because why should these young women early on in their life continue to go free and get our grown men in trouble? They're men. I'm not taking up for them in a sense. Well, we all have a desire for sex, for love. It's so human. People act like he lured her or he went after her. This is not that. I understand pedophiles. They lure you. They pretend they're a certain age. True? And lure you to a place, and not with their body parts. They tell you parties or something different. It's usually not a sexual meeting that you think you're going into. It's a love thing. It's the honeymoon thing.
Right, yeah. Another thing that I wanted to add too was that if you are a teen and you do have pictures of another teen in your phone, somebody that's under 18 and you're under 18, that is considered child pornography. So if you get caught with it in your phone, if somebody decides they want to press charges, you can end up with a sex charge on your record.
And there's a law against having sex under 18.
There really is. Yeah, there really is. Yeah, and a lot of people
So,
don't even realize that.
I hope that, she gets some kind of punishment for it. I'm ready for them to get punished. Because sometimes they set people up, they set men up. And when they're rejected, they get upset. And when they're upset, they cry wolf. They cry victim. And now some man who thought he was meeting a woman who told her no, it always seems to flip back at the adult.
Yeah.
But you never really hear the truth of how those cases could have turned out.
Right, so you don't want to lie about your age and tell somebody
Right.
that you're 18 if you're really not. You don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Exactly. You're 15, be 15.
Right.
You ain't missing nothing.
You sure ain't.
Nothing. By the time you get 21, you be wishing you was 12 again. Shoot. It's like, please make it stop. Anyway.
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about if you're a victim. You might not know that you're a victim or a target. So I don't like to use the term victim. I like to use the word target. So you may not even know that you're a target. Some of the things, and we've discussed them already, some of the things you might be going through or experiencing are being isolated, not being allowed to be around your family and friends, being told to wear different clothing, sharing passwords. You may have to share your password. They may hit you. They may degrade you and belittle you in front of your friends. There's just a lot of different things that will let you know if you're a victim. And I'm going to share some resources later on that is specifically for teens. Yes, Target. Thank you, Target.
Yeah.
And then if you're a perpetrator, you may not even know that you are being abusive.
Right.
So the ways you know if you're a perpetrator are, do you get angry? Have you ever hit your boyfriend or girlfriend? Have you ever tried to stop them from doing something? Do you stalk them? So what I mean by stalk is you say to your friend, hey, did you see such and such after school, and try to find out where they were, or hide in the bushes and try to see if they came home, and calling them at all unreasonable hours of the day and night. You could be a perpetrator and you might not even know it. And if you are a perpetrator, please reach out for help.
Yes.
If you are a target, please reach out for help. You can talk to a trusted adult. You may have a counselor at school you can talk to. You may have a school psychiatrist that you can talk to. But just talk to somebody and let them know what's going on. And if you're a perpetrator in particularly, let them know that you have all of this anger and all of this rage and you really just don't understand why, and you don't want to be that way anymore.
Right. One thing I was thinking about, and I hope we can start taking some callers soon, is not allowing someone to make you their all in all.
Yeah.
People need to learn how to cope with their own problems. It's okay to be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
But when that friend imposes too much on you, you got to figure out their life. You got to, that's to me is a form of abuse as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the one they run to all the time.
I see you nodding your head. Are you thinking of somebody?
Fix stuff.
No, I thought you were saying, yeah, I've been through that. Have you ever been through that before, a friend? Okay.
But you're all I have. You should never be all a person has.
Yeah.
When someone tells you you're all they have, you need to redirect them. God is all you really have. Because he can take my breath at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime. Or I may go away. You can't keep canceling this or I don't want to go on vacation with my parents because what so-and-so going to do about me? They can't live without me.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening.
Good afternoon, Pam. I'm so glad to see you back.
Well, hello.
I'm so glad, my sister. Oh, I'm so glad. And the little darling, little angel sitting beside you.
Thank you.
Oh, her feet haven't even touched the earth yet.
I know.
Really, she don't understand, but I do. Children need somebody that they can go to, a safe place. But I'm trying to figure out where is that. Being a time. Oh, God, where is that? The mothers, who is your mother and who is your father? And who is your sister and who is your brother?
Right.
We try to claim the churches is so much going on. Oh, I'm crying for children. All they want to do is to be loved. They have so much on the inside of them. They're not going to tell y'all. They got a lot. This gal has things in her. I can see it. I can see that. I want to know, Lord, where do they go? Children are afraid to even tell one another. See, this thing goes deep.
It does.
This thing goes deep.
Yes, it does. But
And I pray for them because the ones they think they can trust can set them up. Darling
that's
Pam.
right.
Pam, do you understand what I'm
Yes,
saying?
ma'am.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, I pray for my children, especially the girls, and the little boys.
Yes.
God, the Satan don't care nothing about.
No, ma'am. It's not gender.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
See, I came from a pure time. People helped and raised one another. They whoop your hand parts and nobody shot nobody.
Right.
Nobody disrespected teachers. But this is, we are in this time, we're in the end of the book now. I want y'all to understand this.
Right.
You're in Revelation. And all of them that say that they are from God, they are not.
Right.
I pray for my children, especially the black ones, because that's where we come from. We are black queens. Jesus is black. They don't want to talk about this. But you need to tell the truth.
But
You need to tell the truth about this thing.
But Mother, we have to let our light shine.
Yes. But see, I
And
try
be
to
real
talk to
about
them.
it.
Yes, but see, I try to talk to the mothers. I've already made it. See, because I've listened, I've grown, I've accomplished. I did 30 years of nursing. I know about the money. I know about everything. You came in naked, you going away from here.
That's right.
I'm talking about dealing with Jesus.
That's
He
right.
ain't hang on that cross for nothing.
Yes.
You understand? And
Yes,
what
ma'am.
you reap, you are going, child, you're going to sow what you reap.
That's right.
And I'm real concerned about
ma'am.
my black daughters, my queens.
I know.
They are the queens. I
Oh.
bless you, and I am so happy you back. I am so happy.
Okay,
But I
thank
want a mother. If I don't care what the women do, if they want to live Sodom and Gomorrah, go live it. But don't birth a child. See, do
But
what you want
can't
to
help,
do.
But Mom, they can't help that. It
Let
is
them
what
do.
it is. What it is. If it came about, it came about.
I don't want them to birth the baby with the crack.
Well, they can't. It's not something they can stop if they've been having relations.
Well, they will pay, but the little children. See, I
Well, we
cry
can do
only
it.
for the children.
All we can do is be there for them.
Please take care of yourself.
God will show. If your heart is really for that,
Yes,
He will show you
this is what
with
I'm talking about.
wisdom how to be there.
Yes, and I'm
For
talking
them.
to the older women.
Just
Take care of
like
that, but don't go in church with your breasts hanging out and tattoos and them tight clothes. You don't go in God's house looking like that.
well, mother, they don't know no better.
Well, you're going to
He
be
said let the
discovered.
wheat and the tares grow together, and then that's when the mothers of the church come in.
What,
But
that's
they
what
gotta
I'm-
come in with wisdom and with love, or they're gonna damage them women, and they may never come back again. You want them there, but there's a way to cover them. There's a way to talk
This
to
is a
them.
little black queen sitting up here.
Yes, Lord.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't want nothing to happen to her.
That's all right. That's
I'm
why.
blessed in my
That
because my heart bleeds.
I know. That's why God's raising up women like us.
Glory to God, and thank you.
That's
I'm
why
glad you-
that's why he raising up women like us who have the wisdom and the understanding and the Spirit of God in us to know how
Yes, sir.
to cover these children
She is
and
beautiful.
their parents if
Yes, sir.
necessary.
Yes, she's beautiful, and I don't want nobody taking advantage of her.
She got her mother sitting right by her,
Yes, God, she's
telling her all this good information. Ain't God good?
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome. You have a good evening.
I just
Praise the
want to
Lord.
I just want to thank the caller, for giving that prayer and all of that thought into my daughter, just so that she does know that she is special. So I thank you. She's nervous, so but I am giving her this information and letting her know what's going on. So hopefully she can make great decisions to be in a healthy relationship. But it's not only, the information is not only for her. I can't just give it to her. I do have to give it to all of the other youth and all of the other teens that are out there so that their moms might not tell them. So that's why I'm here, so that they could see me and they could know that it's okay, if they are going through this, that it's okay and they can heal from it.
Right.
I went through it and I healed from it. I'm not just some person who, likes to look at this stuff and I like to read it. No, I've actually been through this. When I was 6 years old, I was molested by my aunt's husband. And when I was 17, I was raped by my best friend's boyfriend. And I got into an abusive marriage. So my daughter knows that. My daughter knows my story. And I want for other people to know my story as well, because you think you're alone when you're the only person who went through that. You think that it was only you. And I want you to know that you're not alone. And if you're a teen and you're in a dating relationship that is not healthy, that is unhealthy, there is help out there. You can get the help and you can be in a healthy relationship. Don't believe, I don't care if it's your mom telling you this. I don't care if it's your uncle. I don't care who it is. If somebody is telling you that you're not worth something, they don't know what they're talking about. Right. God put you here, and he put you here for a reason. You are worth something. He put you on this earth for a reason.
That's right.
So,
and it's not up to you to devalue yourself.
Right.
It doesn't matter how you came to be. You could be a child that came through rape. You could be a child who came through abuse and neglect, through drug abuse. You could be a child who's come through any type of negative situation. But the thing is, you came to be. You are here. You're no longer with that person. You're not under their care anymore. Don't feel bad about yourself. You are here. You have a chance to turn things around if you'll let God. That's all you need to do. Learn how to just let God lead you and guide you and feel good about yourself. God doesn't hate you because your parents
Definitely
used
doesn't.
drugs and you came through that way. God's not hating you, but He would like to show you as a miracle.
Yes.
You have to see it. Right.
So if you just left to choose, there's a rapper that he always talks about God, and you're not connected is there. RG, that's a born advocate against or God. You would just go to the down. Now is to 77054. You can chat, you can text back and forth with someone who will be able to talk to you about your situation.
That is awesome.
It is. And if you want to talk on the 94, you're in an numbers. Call these numbers, phone number again. It is 866-34 about this love is respect. I do want you young ladies 16 that's 1 and 4 and training for this. And they have gone through 40 hours of training. So people that are your age, between the ages of 16 and 24, if you're younger than 16, still feel free to use the number. But these people are between the ages of 16 and 24, and they're going to be there and they're going to talk to you. They're going to chat with you. They're going to text you. They're going to talk to you on the phone. Now, their advocacy peak hours are from noon to 2 a.m. They are there all of the time, and in February through May, they are there from noon to, from 4 p.m. to midnight. But that's just for the peer advocates. There is somebody at this telephone number all of the time if you need help. Everything is confidential. They're not going to share your information with anyone. They may ask you a few questions just so that they can continue to receive funding, but they're not going to call anybody and tell anybody anything that you have said.
Wonderful. I still have that one last question I want to ask you, Taylor. What should you do if a friend hits her boyfriend?
I would just tell her that that hitting her boyfriend isn't the right thing to do. And if she's angry, then she needs to take out her anger in a different way besides hitting someone.
What is a good way to express your anger or to release some anger?
I don't really have an answer to that because I don't really release my anger in the right way. So I can't really tell other people how to release my anger.
I find exercise is good.
Dancing.
Most time the guys go to the gym, they punch a bag or something. But for a female, if you don't want to punch a bag, you can do aerobics. You can still lift weights.
Yeah.
You can run. You can, jogging. Just burn it off. Go walking. Just take a good walk, a good brisk walk. Get your body healthy. Get your mind clear. These are some other ways that I know where you can release.
Right.
And then you can come back in a more calm way. And maybe express how you feel. But by then, it's not heightened by emotion.
Right.
You can think a little more rational. But holding anger, I would not advise it.
No.
You will get sick. I'm a witness. You will get sick. Holding anger, holding resentment, holding anxieties, holding any negative emotion. You need to release negative emotions, release them in a positive way. Find some positive. Make biscuits from scratch. Really, you can't knead the dough. Really, I don't care. Make cookies. It's something. If you're not a big exercising person, but something you can squeeze that dough. I'm telling you, you make the best pizza, cookies, whatever. Make lemonade for real. Get some lemons and squeeze them. But something creative, something that will end up with a better result than to really yell. And raising your voice is a sign that you're almost to the edge. Remember we said stop, drop, and pray.
That's right. Yeah, we did.
Stop, drop, and pray.
Praise God. We did.
I know we're almost to the end, but I really would like that. It says love is not abuse, all one word, .org. Love is respect, all one word, .org. The text, if you're really in the moment, you're a texter, text love is, all one word. That's who you're going to text it to. And then 77054. Live phone number where you can talk to somebody live, 866-331-9474. Again, 866-331-9474 is the number that you would call if you're feeling overwhelmed in any relationship. And not, it doesn't even have to just be dating, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they are set up where they hear your issue.
Yeah.
And if they need to redirect you to somewhere else, I'm more than sure they have a resource for it. So
Yes.
don't feel like you're too old to
No.
call these numbers or to go to these websites. We need to get a handle on this. People killing people is not a good idea. Hello?
Yes.
You know, they say the guns don't kill people, people kill people. And to be so heightened in your emotions that you are taking them out in a negative fashion that could possibly lead to someone's death, someone's dismemberment, or you going to jail is not worth it. Utilize those numbers, those websites. Aynoit, I am so thankful that you came back on this show.
Thank you.
You've always been a blessing.
Thank you.
And it is just a wonderful, wonderful thing that you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
Aynoit is available.
Yes.
I don't know if she gives the numbers. I got 1 minute. Give him the number.
I'm going to actually tell you, you can reach me via email, aynoitasHor@gmail.com. aynoitasHor@gmail.com. And I'm available to come and speak to your youth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you for having me
Wow.
on.
That's wonderful.